What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is Wednesday, which of course means it's time for another Western New York Wednesday here on the channel. And the beer I'm reviewing today comes from the Beer Tree Brew Company, and they are out of Port Crane, New York. And this is their slightly fuzzy, the mango lime variant. So this is a Berliner Weisse that is brewed with the aforementioned two fruits. It comes in at 4.5% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. This can is approximately 6.5 months old. So, Beer Tree Brew Company, I really like their stuff, and I really like this slightly fuzzy line of beers they do. Low crusher fruited Berliner Weisses. I've reviewed 3 already on the channel. I did a head-to-head of their raspberry and blueberry lime one, and I really liked the raspberry one. The blueberry, kind of a miss for me. Then I did their blackberry one earlier this year, and I really enjoyed that. So when I saw this one, I was like, I'm going to grab it. That was back in February. Then the whole pandemic hit, and I went through some personal medical issues, and this got put on the back burner. I had so many kind individuals send me beer from breweries to viewers of the channel and whatnot, and I just kind of forgot about this one. I just threw it in the back of the fridge, and I was like, I'll get to it whenever. Here we are, 6.5 months after its canned on date, and we're reviewing it. So hopefully it held up relatively well. I like mangoes, I like limes. I think this might be good. We're approaching the end of summer here. So, I thought it was appropriate to do it now and not hold on to it any longer. I consider not reviewing it, but whatever. 6.5 months, a beer like this, I think should hold up relatively well. We will see. Hashtag proper glassware here, because it's the Beer Tree glass. And yeah, anyway, I thought I'd do this for Western New York Wednesday too, because I don't have many beers in the fridge. And about very shortly, I'm going to do a beer run, get some Western New York beers for Western New York Wednesday, and get some shelfy beers in the whole nine. But I haven't done it yet, and I really don't have a lot of Western New York beers just hanging out, so I thought I would do this now. Beer Tree is not located in Western New York. They're actually in Port Crane, just outside of Binghamton, but they get huge distribution into Buffalo and Rochester and the Western New York area in general, so I have used them before for Western New York Wednesdays. Anyway, that pours out like a hazy, cloudy lemonade, basically. A little bit darker, maybe. Mango juice, more like it. I had about a finger of this off-white colored head, but it is now dissipated to a thin film. But yeah, that looks like something that has mangoes in it, for sure. Get a nose. So the lime is huge, and I always remember this one, the lime being pretty prominent, right? And then underneath it, it's like a ripened mango. Not over-ripened, not under-ripened, just ripened. I'm getting the base, like this generic like weediness, or like you just get from a Berliner Weisse. If you've ever heard just a base Berliner Weisse, not fruited, nothing, kind of what I'm getting. I'm also getting a bit of salinity. This is not a Goza, but it has a bit of a salinity, or like a minerality to kind of the base. But yeah, to get the mango, get the lime, get the base Berliner Weisse. Smells like it's going to be super refreshing. There is a little bit of a stinkiness there that sometimes you can get with mangoes and Berliner Weisses in general. Sometimes people say it kind of has like a rubbery kind of nose to it when it comes to like Berliner Weisses and sours. A slight touch of that. But for me, that's not super off-putting or anything, because the rest of the characteristics are more pungent and bold. So anyway, let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. That mango shows up right at the forefront, and that transitions into the zesty, tart kind of lime juice. Nice. The beer overall is very simplistic. The body on it, lower side of full, higher side of light, a little bit bigger than 4.5%. It's not watery, but it's appropriate for the ABV, maybe a touch bigger. Nice. The mouthfeel, super crisp. Super effervescent on the palate, very spritzy. Kind of dances on the tongue, the carbonation. Has a relatively clean finish too, which is nice. Kind of the flavors just dissipate very quickly. Right up front though, mango. And it's a really nice ripened mango. It's like you just bit into a ripened mango. And that hits you right there. It's juicy too, like a juicy mango. And then right after that transitions into that lime kind of zesty, tart kind of quality. And that's with you through 3/4 of the palate. On the back of the palate, there's this very slight acidic kind of note that comes in. The overall tartness of the beer has a firm tartness. It's not really sour, it's more tart. It finishes semi-dry with a really no bitterness, but a nice semi-dry finish. This beer isn't overly sweet, which is nice. It has a juiciness to the mango, but it's not really that sweet because you have the lime character that's acidic. You have the base Berliner Weisse that's somewhat acidic as well. All that spritzy carbonation in the semi-dry finish. Yeah, this is honestly, this is kind of like a flavored hard seltzer, but it has more flavor. You know it's a beer. There's a little bit of like an underlying wheat character, but because of that high carbonation and the flavors being relatively, I want to say subtle, but somewhat subtle, it kind of just gives me that hard seltzer kind of vibe to it. Now, it's better than all the hard seltzers that I've ever tried. The fruit character is really nice, but probably my least favorite, I say my least favorite of the bunch is the blueberry one. That one kind of just disappointed me. It looked awesome. It smelled pretty good. And then I drank and I was like, no, I mean, it just doesn't do it for me. This one's better than that for sure, but it's not as good as the raspberry and blackberry one I've had. So slightly fuzzy, the mango lime variant from Beer Tree. I'm going to say, I give this a high 3.75 out of 5. I'll go 3.8 out of 5. I think it deserves it. I think I gave the blueberry one like a 3.5 or like a 3.4. Definitely better than that. But not as good as the raspberry and blackberry. I think those just work better. I think those berries are more pungent. I do get a nice mango flavor here. I don't think it works necessarily as well as the blackberry and raspberry when you're, in conjunction with the lime. It doesn't work as well as those two for me. But it's definitely pretty tasty, quite refreshing. So 3.8 out of 5 for slightly fuzzy, the mango lime variant. 4.5%. Yeah, it drinks like a sub 5% beer. Price and availability. I don't remember what I paid for this because I bought it 6.5 months ago. I want to say 4 packs of this were either 16 or 18. So you're talking $4 to $4.50 a can. For this, would I pay that again? Probably not. For the blackberry and raspberry, definitely. Blueberry, no. But this one would be one of those ones where I'd be like, I'd really have to be in the mood for mango to do that, and I'm not really ever super in the mood for a mango when it comes to beer. So I would say that I wouldn't buy this one again if it's like $18. I think these are like $17.99 4-pack. But I think it's appropriately priced for what you're talking about. 2 different fruits, Berliner Weisse, whole 9. Availability, wherever you see Beer Tree, basically throughout Western New York, a lot of places in New York State, at their brewery. If you live in New York, you probably can get your hands on them. So yeah, if anyone out there has had this one or any of the slightly fuzzy beers, let me know what you think about them. I think these are good for, appropriate for right now. Like when you see this, it'll probably be mid-September. This is early September. Still warm out, still summer weather. So that's what these are for. You could drink a 4-pack of this at a barbecue, poolside, whatever, not get fucked up because it's only 4.5%, but still enjoy the fruity quality of this one and something super refreshing. So yeah, anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by. Till the next one. Oh yeah, be on the lookout next Wednesday for another Western New York Wednesday. I believe, don't hold me to this, but I believe I'll be reviewing a Western New York Oktoberfest beer. I don't know which one it will be, but it'll be an Oktoberfest beer. So starting to get into the Oktoberfest season. So yeah, anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by. To the next one. Cheers.